It's time for the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D review for the 3DS. The original Ocarina of Time was released for the Nintendo 64 system in 1998 and became an instant hit. It holds the highest review average of all time and has been said by fans and gamers alike to be the greatest game ever created. The original game has been ported twice now, once to a collector's edition disc for the GameCube and another for the Wii's Virtual Console. I've reviewed both and given them a 4.5 out of 5. But will better graphics, new features, and 3D be enough to give this game a perfect score? Story and basics. If you ask any Zelda fan, or pure gamer for that matter, they can tell you this game's story. Without giving too much away, you're a boy named Link, or whatever you choose at the beginning, who is told by the tree his forest village worships to go with his new fairy named Navi to help the Princess of Hyrule stop an evil man named Ganondorf from taking over Hyrule. After going through 3 temples, he pulls the Master Sword from its pedestal to be knocked out and woken up 7 years later after Ganondorf has taken over. Switching between his child and adult self with the Master Sword, he must awaken the 6 sages to help him take Ganondorf from power. Now nothing has changed over the many remakes. The story is compelling and has always been, so it's still worth a 5. Graphics and presentation. Though many games look very good on the 3DS, this game by far shows off the system's best. Only other remakes like Resident Evil The Mercenaries 3D and Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D look better. The graphics here, though, still are far superior to the Wii, and compared to the PS3 and Xbox 360. The soundtrack also is still one of my favorites. The music has been revamped like the graphics, but still is the same as the original soundtrack, just with newer sounds. But I am still in love with it. Everything on screen is also laid out perfectly. Everything but your action button is displayed on the touchscreen, which I'll discuss in controls. However, some things were too well preserved from the original. Most stairs are still flat, and the world is still blocky. But graphics and presentation are still flawless, so it deserves a 5 out of 5. Controls. Finally, the old system of navigating through menus is gone. You move Link with the circle pad and swing the sword with B. A is used as the action button, R for shield, and L for targeting. The touchscreen serves as the menu. Your health and map are now always out, and items, gear, and the area map have a simple button to access at all times. You get a specific button for the Ocarina, and Navi in the first-person view get the share button. You can also set 4 items to slots, 2 touchscreen slots, and 2 set to the Y and X buttons. I wish they'd instead put the items on the D-pad since it's not used, because moving to hit a touchscreen button took too long in the heat of battle. But still the controls are great, so they get a 5 out of 5. Gameplay and features. The gameplay stays the same as the original. Explore the world, solving puzzles and battling enemies and bosses with many items you find along the way. But with this revamp, the developers added and redid many things. For one, the graphics and music have been built with only the outline of the previous game, now up to par with today's art style, but still reminiscent to the past game. You also can now move the system itself when using first-person items and to look around a bit when locked on. Also, now there are 4 item slots instead of 3, and 2 at the click of your thumb. Another new feature is Boss Challenge. At a certain point in the game, you can go to your bed in the forest and relive boss battles in your dreams. You're timed, so you can try to beat your friends' times. It also automatically sets the items you'll need to your slots. Also, for new players, you can go into the Sheikah Stones by your treehouse or in the Temple of Time to see a short video in case you get stuck on a temple. They also included a newer version of Master Quest from the GameCube Collector's Edition disc. This time, the damage enemies deal is doubled, the puzzles are harder, bosses are tougher, and to mess up your sense of direction, the whole world is mirrored. The features are great, but one thing that still annoyed me was that Navi was more annoying than usual. His helpful hints like, go see the princess when your princess was right next to you, are now emphasized by her name flashing on the top screen, and having to stop to hit her button to stop hearing, listen! The game also lags a bit when you enter rooms with many enemies and items. This happened a few times, and it frustrated me at some points. The lag may be due to how much the game pushed the system's limits. It pushed it a little too much at times. It would have been perfect, but Navi and the lag earned this segment a 4.5 out of 5. The verdict. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D is an amazing game. Though Navi was even more annoying than before, the item buttons, the considerable lag, and some outdated graphics could have been better, the updated graphics and music, boss challenge, not too difficult difficulty, and compelling story and characters make this game worthy of a 4.5 out of 5 average. I also really liked the Master Quest because it was more challenging. I really wanted to give this game a perfect score, and you may be yelling at me saying that this game is perfect in every way. But the lag in Navi made too much an impression on me, and it still bugs me that most of the landscapes stay the same, some of this being good, other parts not so good. I still think this game is incredible, but the problems they fixed were replaced with new ones. This game gets the title of awesome and the way to play of a buy. Whether you've played the original or any of the ports, or are new to the game or series, if you own a 3DS, this is a reason to dust it off after the lackluster launch.